Well, obviously, you come this far, you know they got to have a really good team. They had their way with us when we visited them earlier on in the season, but we're a different group now. I'm excited to see how we match up. It's going to be a really fun matchup, I think.
What do you take away from those 3 games? It was 3 months ago, but you got to look at their system and a couple of the players that they've got. So, what do you learn from those games that you can apply this time around?
Well, there's a lot of different things you can learn from those games. More so is learning how to compete on the road, learning how to get into that environment and, make sure you're preparing the right way. And as far as preparing for them now, we'll have plenty of video on them. We'll be doing our due diligence and making sure that we're up to speed on all of their tendencies.
I know you've been around the ECHL a while. It seems when you talk about South Carolina, it always comes down to their goalies. They always have outstanding goalie play. This year's team is no exception. So how do you go about solving that riddle, if you will, when it comes to how good they are in between the pipes?
Well, it's something we've kind of been focusing on all playoffs. We've been trying to get a lot of traffic to the net, making it difficult on goalies for them to track pucks and see them coming. So I think if we can keep getting to the net, we'll continue to find success.
And as far as this team goes, you guys, when it comes down to crunch time in the postseason, overtimes or tight games in the third period, we see you guys pull it out lots of times. So that learning how to win those tight games, how much does that benefit you when the stakes get even higher when we're in the finals right now?
Every one of them adds up, and it's just constantly stacking those chips, and having those and having that experience to lean back on is huge. Every single game you win in this environment is it's a confidence builder. So we're taking them all and going to keep racking those up.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, just looking forward to seeing everybody when we get back here to Fort Wayne.
Good deal.
Well, I think everybody has confidence, much like the other team, and we just keep telling ourselves here, it's just another hockey game. We've all been there before. This is where our experience really definitely matters, and a lot of guys have won championships. We've got an experienced team. We've got a veteran team in there, and I think a lot of them are relying on each other just to help them get through it, and including myself. This is the first time for a trip to the conference finals in the East Coast Hockey League, and we're all trying to enjoy this experience together. It's a great family inside that locker room.
When you look at South Carolina in the past, not even this year, but years past, it's always been about goaltending. It seems like, for whatever reason, they always have great goaltending. How do you go about solving that riddle this time around, knowing that they're going to be good no matter what in between the pipes?
Well, when you look back at the regular season, which we're really not putting a lot of stock into, they had Alex DeBow play 2 or 3 games. He was not on their playoff roster, and he was a very motivated goalie, an ex-Comet out there, and Hunter Shepard played equally as well, and they had all 3 wins. But we didn't have Dylan Ferguson, and he's playing his greatest hockey in the biggest moment on the biggest stage, and we've been relying on him to get us through this point, and I don't see any change in that. So for us, it's always going to come down to goaltending, for and against, and right now, we've got one of the best in the league playing at his the top of his game. So we're very confident that if he gives us the saves that he's given us, we'll have a chance to win any given night.
You mentioned that you kind of throw those 3 games out in March, but can you kind of recall or use some of the things like playing against their systems or playing at their ice that you can use at this point?
Playing on their ice is going to be different because it's the practice rink. Systems, they don't change. They're a very skilled team. Actually, they're very comparable to Allen Americans. You put them on the power play, they're going to have opportunities, and that's really where they killed us. So we're going to make sure that we pay extra special teams or special attention to the special teams when we're down there. But everything comes down to the will to win. Are you going to outcompete them? Are you going to block more shots? And for us, every single win that we've had this postseason, we've managed to score a minimum of 3 goals. So for us, that's the magic number, and that'll make sure that we have a chance to win on any given night.
Final question from me. As a young coach in this position, what's your mentality going in, and what kind of advice do you get from other people about being in the pressure cooker of a final series like this?
Anybody that's been there before, including my father, anybody else, they say enjoy the moment. It's so hard to get back to this position that you want to make sure that you're very present, enjoying the moment. Everybody's very supportive, family, friends, a lot of phone calls out there. So this is a rare opportunity, and we've worked extremely hard to get here. So waking up today was a great day, spent it with the family, and now we look forward to getting on the road with our extended family here.
Just stick with our guns. Stick to the program. Buying into our systems, it's gotten us this far. Changing anything would not be the play right now. Just play our game, and I think that's going to take us to where we need to be. So
clutch games in the postseason, close third period games or overtime games, you guys have seemingly pulled it out every time. How much confidence does that give you that you can kind of stack those experiences up as you head off?
Just knowing that we can battle back into games that we're down in, it brings a lot of confidence into our game. Just being battle tested and going through stuff like that, it brings the guys together as a group, and I think we believe that we can win in any game.
Did you get on the ice in this first South Carolina series back in March?
I played on the Sunday.
Okay.
I played in the Sunday game of the 3-3.
But this series is going to be on their practice rink. Is that correct?
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah.
That's what I thought I heard. So, what can you take away from that? Can you take away anything from that, or is it just maybe learning their systems, maybe personnel, or does all of it change?
The coaches deal with all that stuff. We're just kind of gonna show up and put our best foot forward, not really worry about all that other stuff. I mean, we played in the practice rink in Wichita and had to deal with that already. So I think that's in the back of our mind, but definitely not a focus.
There's a really small fraternity of guys from Fort Wayne that have had an opportunity to win a championship in a Komets uniform. What would that mean to you, and does that drive you even more to kind of put your name on kind of the next level of hometown guys that have been able to bring the ultimate back to the Summit City?
I just know how much it would mean to Fort Wayne bringing a championship back. To my family, my friends, everybody. It just would be a special moment, and I look forward to battling for it and trying to bring it back. So,
Good, my man.
yeah,
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Good
Yeah,
luck.
thanks, guys.